What's up, everybody? Namco here. Dustin there, doing a little shimmy apparently just for you, and he's dancing. Explain why, Dustin. You're hoping for some cash.
We need help. We're running a Kickstarter campaign. You can get to it from a link on our homepage or go to Kickstarter and search Fantasy Football University. We're trying to put together, or we are putting together, an app. We need some money to get the last push of design work and get it up on the App Store, and it's going to be really cool if we can get it done.
They've probably watched the other videos and heard us say this.
So check it out.
Thanks.
Help us out.
We appreciate it. All right. Relief pitchers, there's no one better than Craig Kimbrell. He's been a stud the last few years. He's our #1 again. I mean, the numbers just don't lie. 98 strikeouts in 67 innings. That's just ridiculous. Plus, oh, by the way, you get 50 saves out of him. The only guy worth, in our opinion, not a high, but a high-ish middle round draft pick.
All right, tier 2. I'm going to talk about the oldest guy and the youngest guy.
All right.
First guy, Joe Nathan. At 39 years old, he's still doing it.
I can't believe he's 39.
It's amazing how well he's still doing. But at 39 years old, if it was a guy playing the field, you wouldn't touch this guy with a 10-foot pole. But with a guy that only needs to pitch one inning, you know, it's proven in the past that they can pitch into their 40s and still be effective. And Joe Nathan is still very much effective with what he did last year. And then Trevor Rosenthal is the other guy I wanted to talk about. This guy could be in tier 1 next year, or he could not even be ranked. So that's the thing that's a little scary about him. A lot of talent. He could definitely be one of the best closers in the league, but the only thing that scares me about him is their bullpen is pretty good. So if he starts to slip, they're going to have some people that will be ready to move in there. So that's the only scary thing about him, but definitely, you know, worth a look because the kid is very talented.
Tier 3, I'm going to talk about Romo and Balfour, and they both had 38 saves, which is great. But whenever you're ranking the relief pitchers, you can't necessarily look at saves and assume they're going to do that year over year. It's kind of a crapshoot when you're going to get save opportunities. Obviously, better teams that play maybe some small ball or closer games than you think will get more opportunities. Just be a little bit wary of looking exactly last year's numbers. With that said, really like Romo. He's a great pitcher. Loved his stuff 2 years ago. Had a little bit of shaky year last season. The Ks were certainly down per 9, but regardless, he definitely still has his upside. In Balfour, the 36-year-old, did it again last year. He always goes undervalued, underappreciated. He's probably going to slip in your draft. Great guy to gobble on up.
Let's take a look at tier 4. Jason Grilli, another old guy, 37 years old. You know, his ERA was a little higher last year compared to a couple years ago, but still solid K count, still a solid closer to target in the middle rounds. And then the last guy in this tier, Neftali Feliz. You know I got to talk about him. You know, it's not a lock that he's going to be their closer. This is going to be one of those situations that you're just going to have to monitor. But as far as a closer that you can get in the middle, later rounds, he certainly is one of the guys that has the biggest upside. So check it out. I think he could
end the year as #1.
He could.
Wouldn't be shocking to see that. All right, tier 5. Going to talk about two guys that, as of right now, we're taping this at very late February. So note that. But both of these guys we think are going to be currently winning the job for closer, and we hope that they end up winning it. And that's Hunter for Baltimore and Cody Allen for the Cleveland Indians. You know, both of them had a decent amount of holds last year, so we certainly like that with them. But they have decent stuff, and their ADP right now is 330. So I know some leagues, you're going to punt saves, which I understand, but we were just having a little argument about this. But these are two guys you get with your last 2 picks if you're drafting right now. I say grab them and see what happens.
Depends on your league settings, but it's cheap saves.
It's your last 2 picks.
You can always get cheap saves. And the last tier, I mean, kind of going off of what Brent was saying, these are the guys that, as of right now, look like will be closing. You know, one situation to definitely monitor is the Colorado situation between Brothers and Hawkins. Obviously, the fantasy world wants to see Brothers win that job because he has a bigger upside. You know, no one really wants to see old man Hawkins at 41 out there just stealing saves from Brothers, but that's going to be one of the biggest things to monitor this year, or this offseason, is between the battle for those two. Because if Brothers wins, he could be, maybe third-round talent, or third-tier talent. That's your relief pitchers.
Go ahead.
Name go over here, Dustin right here. Check out Kickstarter. Check out all our other tiers and rankings. Cheat sheet on the homepage.
See, that was so good, but you can't see that on the camera for some reason.
Forum questions. Post your teams.
That was good too, but they're not going to see that either.